Hello again, everybody. In this video I'm going to show you the construction of the bunk height corridors and demonstrate for you how easy they are to assemble. The straight section here is what I'm going to use as an example, but all of the corridors are designed in the same way, so when it comes to putting them together they all will follow the same procedure. Just some of the individual pieces may be different. Obviously, if it's a corner it's going to have some L-shaped pieces. So you can see here straight section and the various parts that are involved. You've got your two pylons, two lower grates, two of the side conduits. These are the two railings, the outer walls, the upper deck plate there. The little tubes here on the side are your fluorescent lights, and these are the little rings that you may have seen in the videos that slide onto the light tubes. Kind of breaks them up and splits them into two. I'm going to use just some regular super glue for this. It works pretty well. It'll bond quickly, and you'll find that the smaller tip that the bottle has will help you get into some of the smaller areas. But you can also use a regular wood glue. Those work just as well, and it gives you a really nice bond if you can get it into the areas. So here's the procedure. Very straightforward, and as I said, it's going to be the same regardless of which piece you're building. Start with the pylon, and you're going to put the lower deck plates in. We're going to start by filling in a little bit of glue there. Take a pylon. It's only going to go in one way. Slide it down in. Going to take the other pylon. Glue in the same spot. Slide that in. And here you're going to want to make sure that that lower deck is sitting parallel to the floor there. You don't want it to be at an angle. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of glue underneath here, and slide the pylon in. Slide the deck plate into the pylon. And push it down. Again, making sure that it is parallel to the floor. Next piece that goes in is the side conduit. A little dab of glue in each of the openings here. And these openings are going to fit in the notches that are on the outside of the side pylons. Slide all the way forward. Same for the other side. And now you've got a nice solid starting piece. The next thing to do is to put in these fluorescent light tubes. It's going to be easiest to do it at this point. These may be the only little sort of fiddly bit that you'll have to do. These fluorescent rods are going to slide in to the hole that's here on the side of the pylons. Slide it in. Take one of your little light rings, put it on, and these light tubes are the exact length that you need, so line it up at the ends. I add just a drop of glue on on the outside of each. Move that ring over and center it. And then from the back side, you're never going to be able to notice this once you have the walls on. Just put a little drop of glue next to the ring and it'll keep it in place. Do the same thing on the other side. Slide it through. Get your little ring on. Line the piece up. Drop of glue on the outside. Super glue is supposed to bond quickly. There we go. Center your ring. Put just a little tiny drop on the outside. And then that's together. Next step is to put your side railings on. At this point you're going to have a little bit of an option here. You'll have a choice. I don't know if you can see here, but the railing is going to go onto this little tab on the top of the pylon here next to the light rings. You'll have a choice of either making it flush with the surface or pushing it down so that it's resting on top of the light tube rings. If you do that, there's going to be a little bit of a piece of the pylon that protrudes out. So whichever look you prefer, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure that you do it the same way on all of your sections so that the railings line up. So some glue in each of the little openings. Slide it on. I prefer to have mine flush with the top. Same thing to the other side. Slide it on, make it flush. Next step is to put the floor grate on. Now it's important with the straight section that you get it centered, otherwise your corridors aren't going to line up properly against each other. You won't have to do this with the other sections because being a corner shape or a T shape, it'll line itself. But I'll show you a little trick here for getting this into the right spot. So run a little bead of glue down the edge here, and then tip your corridor on the side like that, and run the center grid down until it reaches your table surface. That way you know the ends are going to be perfectly aligned. Then your last step is to put on the outer walls. They just fit in with the holes here, fit on the tabs that are on the outside of the pylons. Make sure that you have the engraved pattern facing upwards. The one little tip that I'd give you at this point is if you intend to paint your corridors, I would suggest not gluing these on right now, because as you can see, you got pretty good access to all your parts without them. So I'm not actually going to glue these on so that I can paint this section later on. But they just slide on to the tabs. And there you have it. That is a complete straight section for your bug hunt corridors.